This time a year ago, I had just turned 29 and I wrote a list called 30 before 30, which I think loads of people do. You kind of realise you're approaching 30 and you go, there's so many things I want to do before 30. And then you realise that actually it doesn't matter if you don't do any of those things that are on your 30 before 30 list. By the time you're 30, literally nothing changes. But I wanted to preface this video by saying that because one of the things on the list was to do a solo trip. So here is some more footage from my solo trip to New York, which has been an absolute joy to edit because it was so long ago now. I was like reliving it as I was editing it, which rarely happens because on my other channel, which is all about property and business, there's very few experiences that I leave very, very, very long time to edit. It's kind of immediate. So this edit has been really nice. And as we approach the colder season now, it does feel like this time has come around again. It's before you know it, guys, it's going to be Christmas. So get ready for a vlog all about my time on the improv course I did out there in New York and also some of the sightseeing and tourist things I got up to along the way.
Morning, it's 5:30 and I'm struggling to stay asleep. My phone kept going off so I forgot to silence it. So let's pause this film. The Ring doorbell that we've got at home, notifications were like ping, ping, and I charged my phone all the way over there. All the way over there. They kind of woke me up and then my body woke itself up. I guess it's quite late in the UK right now. My body's like, you should be up, you should be doing stuff. I decided to put this film on that I found on the plane. I can't remember if I told you already about this. It's called Good Luck to You, Leo Grand. It's got Emma Thompson in it. I watched about 40 minutes of it on the plane before landing and I was like, this is just an absolute masterclass in just acting and script writing. I was fully laughing out loud as well at moments on the plane and people were like, anything Emma Thompson does is pretty impressive, to be honest. I love watching her on screen. She's so good. I basically decided I can't find it anywhere on Netflix, but then on Amazon Prime I could rent it, so I've rented it for £5 and we'll wait for the sun to come up, and when the sun comes up out there I will go downstairs, have my pastry that I had yesterday. That's a bit of a long-winded way of saying good morning, isn't it? Right, off I go. First day of the course. It's throwing it down with rain, but I have my woolly hat and I'm hungry. I'm gonna go grab a pastry and walk to the theatre.
The building itself, the Players Theatre, was just this really adorable rundown, lots of character and charm to it. It was, it needed work. It's your classic theatre that's got no money, but the love for the theatre was what's keeping it alive, was one of them. And it was so charming and sweet and also in a really nice area. It was 20 minutes walk from where I was staying. So I've put my face on a map to show you where I was. I was on Freeman's Alley on the Lower East Side, just off Bowery, right by Cat's Delicatessen, and it was a 15 to 20 minute stroll over to the Players Theatre in Greenwich Village, right there by Washington Square Park. Loads of comedy stuff near there, right by the Comedy Cellar, so really, really famous New York stand-up comedy place, right round the corner from that. It was a nice neighbourhood to be in. I really enjoyed walking there every morning and feeling like a local. Although at the time people were telling me on Instagram that it was not the best neighbourhood that I was staying in. But of course, as a tourist, I didn't really know that. I just thought, oh, I'm just staying 20 minutes walk from where my course is. So how did I hear about this course? I was listening to a podcast in England. It was around October, November of 2022. And I knew I was longing for more of what I used to do in London, which was performing more, improvising more, being part of a comedy group and doing little shows and stuff. And this is all kind of before YouTube time, before I got into YouTube and before I had seen any success online. And I just knew I was missing it. So I reached out to some of my friends who I used to improvise with and just wanted to touch base with them, see what they were up to. One of the guys had busied himself throughout COVID by interviewing very successful, established, well-known improv actors, like improv comedians in the space. It's a really niche circle, so everyone kind of knows everyone in that world. Especially Sean, he just knows everyone. So I started listening to his podcast to sort of relive just like the fun times of improv and hear their stories and listen to like really inspiring improvisers like TJ and Dave. Anyway, one of the episodes had Holly Mandel on as a guest. And I was like, wow, I was really inspired by her story. I loved that she'd trained with the Groundlings in LA, and some of the alumni from there are just insane. If you search for like Groundlings alumni and see the kind of actors and comedians that she was working with at the time, I was like, this is going to be so sick. She was talking about a school that she'd opened in New York called Improvolution, and she was doing courses, like short courses, and then she also does drop-ins like every Wednesday for people that live in New York and stuff. I looked at the dates, I looked at my calendar, I looked at the dates, and I was like, I'm going. Like, I'm just going to book it. I have nothing to lose other than the flight money and the accommodation and the course money. I had nothing to lose. I just wanted to do it so badly. And I think I was just craving a little bit of the old me. So I booked it and I did it. I then called my friend who hosts the podcast and I was like, you're not going to believe this, but I've booked onto Holly's course. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so jealous. A few days later, that same friend was like, I'm going to book it as well. And I'm not going to lie, no offense if you're watching this, a little part of me died when my friend said that, because I was like, oh damn, I just wanted to like kind of do this on my own and go somewhere and throw myself into an environment completely alone and not with anyone I knew, not acting or improvising with anyone who I'd worked with in London. It was entirely like my own personal gripe where I was just like, oh, I just wanted to do this adventure on my own. And then I was kicking myself like, why did you say anything, Leah? You should have just gone there and enjoyed it, whatever. Anyway, by the end of the course, I actually was really grateful to have a friend there, because breakfast, lunch, dinner, you don't want to do all those things alone. And I did meet some people on the course and I made friends, but everybody had their own life and a lot of them were local. So, you know, like the course would finish and New Yorkers, is this surprising, would just like pack their stuff and just leave. Like not many people would be like, do you want to get drinks? Do you want to do this? So in fact, it actually really helped having my friend there, because we then made plans in the evening. We went to see comedy shows together and we have shared interests anyway. So yeah, I know that sounds really mean, but that was just how I felt. Selfishly, I just wanted to do this adventure on my own. Right. Gosh, why am I finding it so hard to walk down like 5 steps? It's the lunch break and it's going so good so far. Like it's so interesting. And you just make so many like discoveries about yourself as well that you just like, I should have known that. On the first few days of the course, we did a lot of like warming up improv games, getting used to each other as a group, and a lot of what the Groundlings teach. This is again so niche if for anyone who's interested in improvised comedy or just improv acting. The Groundlings are all about character-led comedy. So I meant to say character-led improv, not character-led comedy. The whole point was that it didn't need to be funny. You're not trying to force the funny. What does this person think? What do they feel? What are their thoughts? What lens do they see the world through? It's less about the kind of improv I did in London, which was like, how can we make this scene funny? Like I always felt like that was like, how can we find the fun here? How can we make this funnier? Whereas the Groundling style of training was all about the characters and who they are. And the people were so grounded, Groundlings, in their own characters that putting them in a scene with someone else who's like a complete opposite to them was where we'd sometimes find the funny. If that makes sense. If that doesn't make any sense, feel free to skip ahead to the more touristy parts of this video where I just go around like the ice rink and look at the Christmas lights. Like I will not be offended. Yeah, so the training was good and there was a lot jammed into like 4 days of working with Holly, who is honestly amazing. I was a little bit, you know, when you're just a bit like, oh my gosh, I've listened to you on the podcast and like I've stalked all of your work. You're just there like, as if I've flown across the world to just be in your class. Like, this is hilarious. I love that for me. I just love that fangirl moment. And then on the second night, because Sean had Holly on his podcast and stuff, they were close. So she came out for like drinks with us and I was like, oh my gosh, going out with the teacher. I felt so cool. So yeah, I was hanging out with Holly and just chatting all about her life in New York and what it was like working in LA as well. And just being an actor, working actor and in this space. And it was really awesome to speak to her actually.
Just filling up. Thank God they have this in the building, to be honest. I've saved an absolute fortune on water. Good morning. It's day 2 of the course and it's my first day of sunshine here in New York City. So I'll show you quickly out the window what it looks like. And I can just see clearly now. I can just see the buildings more clearly. I was on the phone to Atch and he was like, that's the new World Trade Center and that's this and that's that. I'm feeling a bit rough this morning because I didn't get home until 1 AM last night from watching a show, and I just don't feel super well. I think it's probably just the late night and talking a lot. So I'm gonna get ready and maybe pop to a CVS and see if I can pick up. I do have some painkillers, but I could do with some throat sweets, I think, so I might just pop there before I go to school. And then Atch finds it really funny when I call it school. I'm like, I need to get ready, I'm going to school. She's ready. This is my little outfit of the day. Let's hope that my acting isn't as beige as my outfit. Got a cup of tea on my little morning commute. And you know when you're like walking in a new place and you're like pretending that this is your full-time environment, you're like, yeah, I know that shop. Yeah. Why is crossing the street such a palaver? Do you know what I mean? Alright, mate. This is what the queue for the Comedy Cellar looks like on your average weekday in New York. It's crazy busy, but it's so worth it. Sometimes you get huge comedians show up and they try out new material before going on Saturday Night Live or other TV shows in the States. We did have to seal our phones and Apple Watches and anything that could be used to record the show in any way in a bag. So I have no footage at all from the night apart from these clips. Good morning. I vomited twice this morning. And then, is that my friend? Where is he? Well, I lasted till after lunch. It was 2:30, and then Holly, who runs a class, was just like, do you need to go home? And I was like, yeah, I need to go home. So I feel so annoyed, but I just feel so unwell. Morning everyone. I just want to talk a little bit about yesterday because it was a complete and utter write-off. So I felt terrible when I woke up, but I was like, I'm not, oh, my lens cap. Yesterday I had to leave at 2:30 instead of 5 because I was just so unwell that they were like, Leah, do you just want to go home? And I was like, yeah, I think I just need to sleep. So I slept for like 13 hours or something ridiculous and I felt much better. I was having a bad migraine. I was also vomiting in the morning and I was just like, this is not it. So yeah, it was just, I just felt so unwell that I just couldn't. I was like forcing myself to be in the room, but it was, the light in the room was like hurting my eyes, could feel the migraine. It was just not fun. Anyway, so I've slept loads and today is the last day of the course and it's been really fun. There's a little sort of, not a performance thing, but there's like an opportunity this evening for me to kind of, not showcase, there's an opportunity this evening for me to like put into practice what I've been working on for the last 4 days at Improvolution. So it's been really amazing this week being taught by Holly Mandel, who's from the Groundlings, and if anyone who doesn't know, the Groundlings is a school in LA that has had some fantastic alumni, so like Jennifer Coolidge, Will Ferrell, Melissa McCarthy, loads of amazingly funny character comedians have come from there. So it's just been amazing to like spend 4 days sort of like diving in and learning loads. I'm gonna head now and get some breakfast because I didn't eat anything yesterday other than some crackers and this ginger ale. So like my American friends that I made at the school were like, oh, you got an upset stomach? I was like, yeah. They were like, you need ginger ale. And then they got me some crackers and stuff. So it did actually settle the stomach, to be fair, but I've got loads of it left. That's all I had yesterday, as well as like a piece of dry bread. So yeah, as you can imagine, I'm quite hungry now. I'm all wrapped up, I'm ready to go. My friend Sean and I are gonna grab some breakfast before we walk to school.
I'm with Sean, give us a wave. Right, we're going to a diner to fill up our boots.
Yeah, it's a Greek diner.
It's Greek.
It's in a Greek.
It's very Greek. Well, that's it. The course is over. It's done. I'm coming back here tonight to do a little jam. This was the very beautiful theatre that we've been in. That is a wrap. That's a wrap. That's it. That's all 4 days of the course done. It was brilliant. I had the best time, but I also feel guilty that I haven't seen much of New York. But I did all that a few years ago when I was here as a tourist, and I'm still a tourist, but I've spent all of my time here in Lower Manhattan, Greenwich Village area. It's the last day. I'm packing up my suitcases. I got the Harry and Meghan documentary on because I only watched 3 episodes before I left the UK, and then I think whilst I've been here they must have released more because I noticed that episode 4, 5 and 6 had appeared on Netflix, so I was like, I'll just have that on this morning while I'm packing. And yeah, it's been really nice. I am absolutely gutted to be leaving. It's flown by. These 6 days have just gone in a flash. Yes, my hair is a little bit greasy, but I'm gonna buy some dry shampoo. I thought, what is the point of washing it if I'm just gonna get on a plane and then have a really long shower when I get home? So I washed my bod, but not my hair. Yeah, I went to CVS yesterday and picked up some absolute essentials such as club crackers. Right, I cannot go home without finding the crackers. Oh, yay! There they are. So, oh, they've gone up. $6.79 now. And Burt's Bees. I always seem to buy Burt's Bees lip balm when I'm in America and pick up a pack of 4 of Atch's favourite Burt's Bees for him as well. What else did I get? Club crackers, Burt's Bees. Oh, I got the Crest toothpaste because they put more whitening in it here than in England, so you can't really get that kind of that level of whitening toothpaste over there. That's it really. How did I spend like $60 in CVS? I don't know what else I bought. What else did I buy? Oh, I bought like some food as well, just to like snack on. I really haven't been in this room very much, but I would recommend it. And now that I'm leaving, I'd be happy to share this this place. In fact, someone DM'd me on Instagram being like, that place looks really great. Where is it? So I sent them the Airbnb link. It's Freeman Alley in just off Bowery, Untitled Freeman Alley. If you Google it, you'll find it straight away on Airbnb. And it was, you know, considering it's not that far to anywhere from here, it's reasonable, but much cheaper than a hotel as well, and great coffee downstairs. I think the plan today is that I'm going to go to like Midtown area. Is it called Midtown? I'm gonna go do a little bit of touristy stuff and then head to the airport at like 5 p.m. My flight, well, it take an hour to get there, and then my flight is at 10 p.m. I don't want to be too painfully early, but also apparently there's delays at the airport, so I don't want to be too late either. So I left the serviced accommodation, but I left my luggage in a room where I could pick it up later that day, which is the most important thing ever, is luggage storage. If you can't store your luggage, you cannot book a late flight home. You have to get a morning flight, otherwise there's just nowhere to put your stuff, unless you find like a nearby luggage point. So the best thing ever was being able to drop that suitcase, just take my day bag and go off and explore some more of New York. I've worn leggings to make the flight easier, like just so I'm really comfy, but it is so cold that I think what I should have done is put like 2 pairs on and then take a pair off. I'm really regretting this. It's freezing, but I'm gonna walk for an hour, like in the one direction. It'd be really hard for me to get it wrong, all the way to Bryant Park. I've just taken a turn because I want to get a Whole Foods quickly, but yeah, I'm gonna go to that area of town today for my last day. Oh my god, I don't think I've seen fruit for like a week. This is amazing. Ooh, possibilities. I haven't actually said why I'm going to Bryant Park, so I'm going to have lunch with Liz, aka Biddy, she now goes by the name Biddy over here, and Sean, and they are 2 of my friends who I met in London improvising with years ago. We used to do like little comedy shows together back in like 2016, and then Biddy moved to Chicago she moved to Amsterdam to perform at Boom Chicago,
and then Sean and I stayed in London and did some more shows. So yeah, I'm really excited actually, and I'm so glad I didn't get the subway because this walk has been really, really nice. Oh, that is the famous Sweet Green. So I still watch this YouTuber, Shelby Church, and I think she always used to get a salad like every day from Sweet Green when she lived in LA. I think that was where it was from. I just saw it and I was like, Shelby Church. I just tried quite possibly the best chocolate covered pecan nut of my life. It was amazing. A very smiley, large man walked up to me in Union Square Park, biggest smile on his face, like he knew me, and just went, "Happy holidays." And I just went, I knew. Amazing. Gotta love America.
The amount of walking I did that day, I must have done about 25,000 steps that day. It was so many steps. It was really good though. Definitely made up for the day that I spent 13 hours in bed.
I'm outside the library and there is just this amazingly wholesome dance happening in front of me. I filmed it on my phone and it was just so heartwarming, and I don't care if I get a copyright claim because I just want to show you how beautiful it is. New York, New York. Had to come to Rockefeller Center and see the famous tree. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the same every year, but I haven't been here for Christmas since I was a teenager, so this is the first time seeing it with 20's eyes, so let's just take that in. Lovely, got it. Outside the plaza now. It's a shame that it's covered in scaffolding, but they got to do the work. Apparently half of it's all apartments now and not really that much hotel anymore. Okay, I didn't know this, but you can't go in anymore unless you're a hotel guest. So the last time I was here, there was a food hall and it was really nice and got a food and drink down there. It was overpriced, obviously, because it's a plaza, but can't go do that now. So I shall go find a little coffee stop somewhere else. Okay, last stop is Central Park. Just gonna get a few little pictures up here and enjoy the view, and then I'm gonna walk back to the Airbnb and grab my bags and head to the airport. It's been really nice. Good to like get all these steps in and tire myself out. I'm more likely to be able to sleep on the plane home. Look at this. I'm like climbing over these. Let's get the view. Oh god. This is nice. Look how skinny some of those buildings are. Or how skinny they look from here. Not the best background, guys, but I walked past this shop again and it was a sign. I must have walked past it 4 or 5 times, so I ended up getting one of the caramelized pecans, or pecans as I would say, and they give them out as samples and they were just stunning. I was like, I've got to get them. So that's from me to me.
These chocolates were unbelievable. They were from Max Brenner, and when I ate the last one of those, I was so gutted. So the next time I go to the USA, I'm buying 3 or 4 boxes and they're going straight in my suitcase and then I'm hiding them at home so nobody can eat them. Who'd have thought chocolate covered nuts could taste so good? They taste amazing. Like there's no words. I don't even like chocolate covered nuts, but those pecans, whatever they are, pecans, they're delicious. Try them. If you ever get a chance, try them.
I just got off the subway back down in like lower Manhattan where I've been staying, and then I just got off and went, oh, back to reality. Even though this is still, you know, a nice place, it's just hilarious that like after going into the centre and being around all of those like super tall buildings, it just felt like that was like a film world. That was like something like from a film, let's be real. And then I'm back on Bowery now and I'm like, oh, back to life. Just wait till I get back to England and I'm looking at my dad's driveway in my office being like, God, this is earthing.
In total, I think I was there for like 6 nights. It flew by. It was so quick. If I was to do it again, I would try and stay for longer. I would also convince my husband to come with me because we did throw this idea around. I know I called it a solo trip, but I just felt like at times, oh, it would be really nice to be having dinners with my husband and just be hanging out and having these experiences with him. I know that sounds really lame. Maybe it doesn't sound lame. I would see if Achille could sync up his work schedule with being out there and perhaps him working remotely during the day, me doing my thing, him doing his thing, and then maybe meet up in the evenings and have dinners together, drinks together, explore the city together. I know that takes away from the entire point of having a solo trip, but I do think I would have really loved it if he'd had come. But he wasn't available, the dates didn't work, fair enough. I did the thing I said I was going to do.
While I'm at the airport, I am over 3 hours early, but I'm in the wrong terminal. So I'm going to take the air train over to the correct terminal. And there was absolutely no info on like online or on the ticket or anything to do with what terminal this flight goes from. So I just took a chance really and guessed it. Because my mate who I shared a taxi with was going to Terminal 5 and he was flying to Ireland, so I was like, same direction, but yeah, it didn't work out, so I need to get over to Terminal 4, which is fine. I think this air train thing is free. If not, it shouldn't be too expensive. It's one stop. It was free. Yay! Terminal 4.
Hello friends, I've been in the airport for like probably an hour and a half already, and no, maybe longer. I got here at 6 and it's now 8:41. Oh my gosh, 2.5 hours. I'm now in the Delta Sky Lounge and I've still got ages to my flight, so I'm charging up my devices. I've had some food, I've had 2 cups of chamomile tea because I don't want any caffeine before the flight, and yeah, I'm just catching up on some notifications and I basically tried to download all of the episodes of White Lotus to watch on the way home, but I realised that when I was in England I forgot to download episode 1. So I have episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or however many there are, but not episode 1, and it's killing me. And the Wi-Fi is really bad in this airport, so I'm like, why won't it let me download episode 1? It's just, I can't start the series on episode 2. It's just, my OCD is going mad. So yeah, I'm just going to catch up with my notifications, charge up my devices, and the plan is to fall asleep all the way home. Fingers crossed.
And then I got home and Achille picked me up from the bus station, loaded up my suitcase in the car, and came back and we had Christmas. So that was an amazing week in New York on my own. Another bucket list thing done. It was awesome. I absolutely loved it. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. It was so much fun to be there and also then to edit it in the future and relive these moments. So I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next week, where I plan to release my video from my 30th birthday party. So way more recent, like a couple of weeks ago, had my, well, it's a month ago now. Way more recent, from a month ago, my 30th birthday. I had a full-on surprise birthday. Achille had pulled it out of the bag. It was amazing. Yeah, I'll share that next Thursday, and then hope to see you guys at my next live stream when I get back from Greece as well. So much going on at the moment, but thank you guys for joining, and I will see you guys very soon. Please leave me a comment below. Please also subscribe if you're new here, and take care. Lots of love, everyone. Bye.